We have been talking about various HR functions, employee grievances, how HR needs to handle that. In this video, we will talk about the initials of the risk associated for an HR when they outsource the HR functions, as they outsource working along all the personal information of their employees. Welcome to my YouTube channel where you daily see new content on privacy. And as I said, we are going to talk about the HR's outsourcing things when they outsource their work. What are the privacy risks when they outsource the work? Simple. You have to consider for yourself, now you have to consider it for your vendors. Do they have adequate protection? Are they really taking care of personal information? Do they follow any privacy compliances? Local, international, what kind of customers they have? Are they known for any breach prior to this? How do they manage the data that they collect or they process? Right? And in the next video, I'm going to talk about detail of what do I exactly mean when I say data management practices to be looked into vendors. But the idea is that once the vendor will collect data or process data on my behalf, is he careful? Is he following the norms set for privacy all around the world, or at least in the geography where he's doing this? What about cross-border data transfer? Is the application hosted locally or is it hosted internationally? Accordingly, it would define whether the data is being stored or kept locally or internationally. What are the vendor audit trails? How do vendors see this data? How or does the logging of this data happen? Is there an audit trail being mentioned for this? So to begin with, first thing that an organization has to make sure is that they have to have a contractual safeguards with the vendors. Now, what does that mean? The contract that you sign with the vendors now need to have some privacy clauses. And we are going to discuss a few of them here. For example, to begin with, confidentiality. The contract has to be very, very confidential. Purpose limitation. You have to be very clear with your vendor that the data that has been collected or shared with them has been shared for a limited purpose. They have to accept under contract that they are not going to use this data for any other purpose. Fine? No heraferi. They have to use it only for the purpose for which they have been provided the data. The sub-processor obligations, if they are not processing everything themselves, are they doing it for a sub-processor? What are their contractual terms with the sub-processors? So I need to put in, as an organization, as a fiduciary, within my contract, these sub-processor clauses also. What data management practices do they follow? Are they handling the data safely? Are they ready to get audited? That's a very nice way to find out. If your vendor would say, what, why do you need to check that? Don't you trust me? Well, then I for sure don't trust you. I'll do an assessment first and then I'll do regular audits. Data localization. Are you keeping data locally or is it international? If it is internationally, is it in a safe country? Does it follow the international norms of cross-border data transfer? We are yet to finalize the ones for India. But yes, if the application is hosted in safer countries like US and Europe, where you have to sign their GDPRs, and if it is California, then CCPA, then it is relatively okay, right? And we don't expect that when the rules get finalized in India, you'll blacklist US or Europe. They are mature geographies, mature than our current rules in terms of privacy rules. And most important, does the vendor adhere to compliances? If he is hosted outside, does he adhere to the compliances of that country? If he is hosted locally, does he follow the best practices of compliances? What would happen to data once the processing has been completed and once the contract is over? How is he going to handle that data? That's another very, very important issue or point that you have to keep in mind. So that's about managing HR vendors. In the next video, we are going to get into a bit more details about this. So stay tuned, subscribe to my channel, share your feedback in the comment section. Thank you.